Hello, oh dear ones, and welcome to week 37 of the Creators of the Future workshop, which is a free workshop on YouTube. And thank you very much for coming by to be my live audience. It's actually such a joy to look at people and talk. I'm used to that. We are on week 37, and for those of you who have bumped onto the video for the first time, it's actually a video which I put up every Friday to help you stay in tune and track of your goals so that we can all arrive into 2018 with accomplishment. And I want to be a part of your journey. I want to be a part of your struggles, and I want to be at the finish line with you saying, yay, we made it together. You know, they say it's lonely at the top. We're all going there together. And I like that how you all are commenting and helping each other, which I think is wonderful. So it's not just me. Every Friday, there are a bunch of people every Friday helping a bunch of other people make it across. So this week, my topic is practice. You know, I have the privilege of meeting some amazingly legendary people across the world. I have met sportsmen, athletes from across the globe who are champions in their fields. I have met cricketers, I have met basketball players, I have met tennis players, I have met badminton players, and you know, I meet them sometimes on flights, I meet them at my conferences, some are even motivational speakers, and then some I meet because I want to meet them. And my conversations with them have always been the most enriching, because I will tell you the principles that apply in sports, you can tweak them and apply it to your life, right? I mean, all success principles are interchangeable. Tell me your 3 best practices, I can tweak it and apply it to my life and see the difference. And in my conversations, I found a common thread between what everybody was saying and attributing their success to, and it was this one word which a lot of players, athletes, artists, executives dread, and that is practice. You know, practice is what separates a champion from an ordinary player who just dabbles in the sport and says, it's my hobby. See, either you can be a player or you can be played. You know, either you play or you'll be played upon. Now let me give you an example of 2 players. One is a champion player and one is a time pass player. By the way, the fact that you're here and the fact that you're watching this video, I can see that streak of passion that is stretching out its hands to catch the championship trophy. So the comparison which you will decode is between a champion player and a player. I won't tell you which is which. Alright, so imagine there's a player and he is called to play the game by his coach at 7:30. 7:30 he's supposed to do the game with his coach. Now, what time do you think a champion wakes up and gets to the field or the court? I will tell you because I have interviewed some of them. So 7:30, if it is his reporting time to the coach, he is on the field or the court at 5 a.m. He is in the gym, he is doing his run, he is doing his warm-up, and he is practicing his stroke. And to be there at 5, he is perhaps waking up at 4 o'clock. Okay, so before he gets on the game, he has exercised, he's warmed up, his muscles are in great condition. He has practiced that stroke which the coach had said was not good enough yesterday, and he now comes to the game fully prepared and fully loaded. All right, now look, there's another player. He's supposed to report at 7:30 a.m. for the game. 7:25 a.m. the coach gets a WhatsApp message, coach reaching 5 minutes. You've met people like that, right? Then 7:30 another WhatsApp message, stuck at the traffic signal. At 7:30 a.m. he's stuck at the traffic signal. Okay, then 7:35 parking, and 7:40 he lands up on the court when the game has already begun and the score is 2-5. The guy is getting, first of all, he's not on time, and now he's getting into the game which has already started to play. Now let's say the score is 2-5. If he's on the team which has scored 2, oh my god, they're going to blame him and run him down and blame the entire loss on his head, because you didn't show up, we did not play well. And if he's on the team which has scored a 5, they're going to tell him, get out, we play better than you. Either which way, he loses. Now you tell me, do you see a distinct difference between a champion and an ordinary player? An ordinary player will forget show up on time, वो time पे आ जाए वो ही बहुत बड़ी बात है. He will come late, and now when he enters, he's entered the game. He has no strategy, he has no warm up. He's the one who's prone to injuries. Did you know that? He's the one who's going to take his team to lose, because one guy can be a contributing factor to the entire team lost. If you are arriving at work, by the way, do you have a work time? You all go to work at a specific time? So what time do you get to work? What time do you start your work? 10 o'clock. You get to work at 10 and you start at your work at 10. I will give you a guarantee card. I have to make some guarantee cards. I'm giving a lot of guarantee here on the workshop. I'm going to give you a guarantee card. If your work starts at 10 and if you're arriving at work at 10 and if you get to work at 10, I guarantee you, you will not make it. Stop kidding yourself. Stop fooling yourself. You are not going to make it. No champions make it. Then please tear down that vision board and look into that mirror and say, I'm not going to make it because I do not have the habit and wherewithal of a champion. Look, don't tell me that, oh, I don't know what to do, how to practice. Practice is good for sports, but I'm a sales executive, I'm an investor, I'm a banker. What shall I do? If you don't know, get a coach. Every player that you admire, every athlete that you admire, every artist that you admire has a coach. If you are so confused and even if Google is not helping you, get a coach. It's simple. If you're a player, what do you have to practice on? Your stroke, your run, your stamina, your balance, your health. If you're an executive, what do you need to practice on? Your language skills, the way you look, the way you talk, your pitch, your knowledge, your speech. Get some feedback, attend some seminars, attend some workshops. That's what you can do to add up to your practice. So when a player lands up on the court, he's agile, he's warmed up, his muscles are firing together. He has practiced his stroke well enough, and when he walks into the game, he is a better player than yesterday. When you report to work tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., are you a better sales executive? Are you a better production assistant? Are you a better banker than you were yesterday? And you know what? That doesn't end there. Practice doesn't just mean that you practice before you come to work. You know what a champion does? When he finishes his game, he goes back to the gym because now he understands, oh, my hop is not good enough or my jump is not high enough. Now he builds that muscle. The opponent or situations have taught him and brought to light his weaknesses. Now he wants to cover that up. He knows what stroke worked. Now he wants to strengthen that. It does not end there. It's a full circle. It starts prior with practice. You play the game and you end it with practice. Now this law is not just valid for a sports person or an athlete. It's valid for every single person. No matter what you do, if championship, if greatness, if achievement is your agenda. So how should your life from tomorrow look like? Let me give you a little preview, and you can take my agenda or you can just formulate one. So if you're arriving at work at what time? 10 o'clock? Yeah. What time do you leave your home? 9 o'clock? Yeah. What time do you wake up? Don't tell me 8 o'clock. Yeah, let's say you wake up at 7 o'clock and from 7 to 8 you're with your family, getting your children ready, speaking to your spouse or whatever. That is fine. That is important. That time is also important. But from the time you wear your work clothes and you are ready to go to work, your work begins from that minute. Do you have clothes that are specifically work clothes which you don't wear at home? Yeah? Okay, good. Do you have clothes which are specifically home clothes and you don't wear at work? Yeah, awesome. So the minute you have switched from the home clothes to the work clothes, you are at work at 8 a.m. Now you just have to get to your desk. The minute you are dressed for work, now you are the sales executive, the production head, the purchase manager, or whoever that you are. When you get in your car, you do not call your friends. When you get in the car, you do not listen to radio. When you get in the car, you practice. You practice your talk. You think of your strategy. You listen to an expert. You exercise your mind. You just have to get to the desk and you do that for that duration. Use that time for practice. You don't have a court or a ground to get to, but you still have that distance to cover, right? And when you get to your work, you are brimming with ideas. You have strategies that you can't wait to tell your boss. You have the confidence that this day is mine, that today I own the day, because you invested the time. When you enter the office, the weather changes. It becomes brighter. There is sunshine. That is the making of a champion in whatever you do. Now take two. Go on the other side. There is this guy who leaves his house at 8 o'clock. Ghar se nikla nahi, Facebook already. Then Facebook over. If that ever gets over, then he's on Candy Crush. Candy Crush, now the live has got over and he has to wait for half an hour. Now he's on WhatsApp. He's bumping into people. He's WhatsApping while driving. He's talking to a friend who's perhaps giving him a headache, or he's giving the friend a headache. People are shoving him, pushing him, some are even abusing him for not paying attention, and he is in this whole zone. Have you seen people like that? And then they come to work, they look only frustrated. They look only ki maar kha ke aaya hai ye. Then he comes and he doesn't say good morning to people. Even the people who say good morning to him, he doesn't respond back. There is no smile. He slops on his chair and says, Ramu chai lana. That is how he begins his day. Tell me, is that the making of a champion? Look, I keep saying I meet such amazing people and I have the privilege of interacting with them. And don't make it an excuse, oh, I never met such people. Hey, do you watch superhero movies? Have you seen any superhero movies? Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, the Avengers. Have you seen Red? Yeah, take the example from there only, Baba. You know, Superman is Clark Kent, right? So Clark Kent is this ordinary fellow who has an ordinary life. But the minute he wears his cape on, he is Superman. He has left Clark Kent behind. It does not matter who you are, what is happening in your house, kya ho raha hai, kya chal raha hai, but the minute you wear that jacket on, you are the super sales executive. You are Superman whose sole agenda is to save the world. And I always say this, don't believe me. You buy that Superman DVD. Do not download it on your phone and watch it on your way to work. Alright? You buy it. Piracy is not good. Buy the movie, okay? And tell me, in which superhero movie have you seen the fellow WhatsApping, chatting with his friends, banging into people at work, you know, and when he comes to the disaster scene, when Superman comes to the disaster scene, he says, "Bahut thak gaya yaar, Ramu chai la." Have you seen that? They don't do that. The minute he is in his attire as Superman, he does what Superman is expected to do. He's no longer Clark Kent. Do you get the picture? That identity is gone, which he will pick up when he removes his cape, when he is undressed and now is Clark Kent. You pick that up when you go home. The minute you remove your work clothes and get into your home clothes or whatever other attire, now be that identity. Then we're not expecting you to be the salesman. You do not expect Clark Kent to be Superman. Superman is Superman and he must come like that. Now what I'm asking you to do is to collaborate, a champion and a superhero, and be bigger than them. So when you begin your work, you practice. You leave from your house in that attire, please leave everything behind. Now you are the super speaker, the super runner, the super painter, the super banker, whoever that you are. Use that time from the time you are dressed up till you get to your court or your field or to your desk. Use that time to practice. Fill your brain with ideas. What do you have to do? Arrive there better than you left there yesterday. That should be a personal challenge. And while there, do what Superman does. Save the world, save your job, save lives, save your dreams, save your goals, save your hopes. Do that. And when you leave, practice again. What did you miss? It was such a big learning. What did you hit? Now strengthen that. And when you sleep, it's a full circle come to the end of a super day. Now that is what is the foundation, the pillars of strength of a superhero, no matter what profile you have. Practice and leave whoever that identity is that wakes up behind into this new super identity that you get paid for. There are hopes on you. You have no idea. Speak to your boss, speak to your employers, speak to the stakeholders. They have hopes on you. Just like the world in the movies has hopes from Superman, you are expected to deliver. And when you're going back, practice again, reflect again, and you, oh dear ones, will be an indomitable, unstoppable force. Now, while I tell you that, I have a super book for you. It's my 9th book, The Wise Man Said. It's not yet released, and if you have liked any of my books, you're going to love this one. The story is about an 80-year-old billionaire who travels the world without an identity and without any money to gather experiences. It's a collection of 12 stories. It's very exciting. It's full of fun, adventure, humor, and of course, insights. So you can pre-order this. On every pre-order, you get a signed copy. You also get a free quotes book of The Wise Man. And if you order 5 books, you get a motivational Wise Man Said poster. The pre-order link is in the description below. And I'm looking forward for another week, another enriching experience with this company that is forever growing. I love the interaction. I love that we are connected, and I love that we have committed to a purpose. And for those of you who have been on this program for week 1, you are a superhero and a champion in the making. More power to you.